Hi everybody, welcome to Big Oggie World and welcome to a little impromptu video by me, Big Oggie, back in the kitchen. No one's around at the moment and I know that when they're going to come home from college etc, the kids are going to want something sweet. So I had half an hour on my hands, so I thought let's whack together a little recipe. It's a traditional Cornish recipe. It's a Cornish Fairing biscuit, or a Cornish Fairing, which is actually a biscuit. Makes sense? If you've ever been to Cornwall, if you've ever been to quite a few holiday places, you will find fairings in boxes, and they're kind of in the same areas as the boxes with the clotted cream fudge, etc. Basically, it's a ginger biscuit or a ginger cookie, whatever you want to call that. They've been going for a good couple of 100 years, probably even more, to be honest. The main company that people use around here would be Furnace. If you're buying them, you'll see them in the boxes everywhere. And I believe they started creating their biscuits, their version of a Furnace, when they set up a little shop, a little tea shop in Truro in the 1880 odd, 1870 odd. And then they moved on to making a whole factory, biscuit factory, shortbread, etc. and gingerbread. And this is where they believe theirs has come from. National Trust recipe, which we're going to use today. I haven't got the Furnace recipe, but they're all pretty much the same. National Trust says there used to be maid hiring fairs. So just after Christmas, the rich people, or whatever, the landowners would come hire different people for working on in their houses and their land. And that used to be in Lanston or Launceston. And they used to sell them at the fair. So there were these kind of biscuits, these kind of ginger shortbread biscuits sold at fairs. So there's your little bit of history. We're going to whack this together today. It's very quick, okay? Nice and easy. Let me just clear all these bits away and we'll get started. Okay, so like I said, this is a nice simple recipe. So first of all, we're going to get all the dry ingredients, sieve them into a bowl, okay? So the recipe I found is from the Telegraph newspaper. It went out in the article in 2003, but actually it's a National Trust recipe. Okay, so we start off with 8 ounces of flour, 220 odd grams. I'm going to put all the details of the ingredients below. I'm going to sieve that through. Then we're going to add some baking powder and some bicarbonate of soda. I'm going to add some, get the right one here, ginger, ground ginger, mixed spice, a little bit of cinnamon. I'm going to sieve all this together with a little bit of salt as well, okay? So, like I said, all the measurements will be listed below. So, into my bowl, via my sieve, half a teaspoon of salt. That's not quite half, I'll put a bit more in. We're going to use normal butter, normal salted butter, so I'm not going to worry too much about the salt intake. Now, we're going to get a teaspoon measure. Get the right ones with white tin toys, let's say. Bicarbonate soda, 2 level teaspoons of bicarbonate soda. Two teaspoons of baking powder. There we go. Now to that, again, it's all pretty simple this, 2 teaspoons of ground mixed spice. Remember, this is a spiced biscuit. Okay. One teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Lots of biscuits, historical biscuits, are quite heavily spiced. If you think about Easter biscuits and even hot cross buns, etc. Okay, so to that now we're going to add. Now the recipe says 3 teaspoons of ground ginger. I'm going to put in 2 because I know Kelly's not a keen fan of ginger. I am, but I know the kids quite like ginger shortbread. You know, we get the little gingerbread men. So we're going to put it with just 2. But obviously you add to taste, okay? we put all these to one side. Just going to sieve these in, put this to one side, and then we'll sort out the other ingredients, which are basically the fats and your sugars. Now, one of the ingredients of this is golden syrup. I know it's everywhere. This happens to be the one we've got at the moment, but we've got loads of different bottles of golden syrup. 4 tablespoons of golden syrup. Now, it works better when it's slightly warm, so I'm going to pop it in the microwave for a few seconds just to warm it up. So we bring our bowl back with the dry ingredients. Now we're going to get our butter, and we're going to just do what we always do with cakes and pastries, the old-fashioned way. We're going to rub together the butter, but we're going to put it into the flour, not straight away into the sugar, okay? So we're going to get our butter, rub this together with our fingertips until it resembles breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs? Breadcrumbs. Take your time with this. It's going to take a little while. Obviously it depends on how soft your butter is. I'm just going to break mine up a bit. Just keep working it together. All those spices and the flour. And in a few minutes, when you come back, I'll turn my phone off. Bad John, bad. We'll have some breadcrumbs. There you go. So I'd probably call that coarse sand or wet sand now, but that's good enough for us. The amount of butter we put in was 4 ounces. Obviously you'll get the grams equivalent. Same with the caster sugar. We're going to add in the 4 tablespoons of golden syrup. As you can see now, it's just slightly warmer. It pours so much easier. And 4 ounces of caster sugar. We're using golden. Get every little bit of that out if we can. Could be a while. Now we're going to use a wooden spoon. Basically mix all this together. Mix it all really well until you've got a stiff consistency and it's all properly blended together. And then that is your cookie dough or your biscuit dough or your fairing dough. Get all this mixed. At the start you think it won't come together, but believe me, if anyone knows about golden syrup, it's going to make everything sticky. So it will come together in time. Just keep pushing it against the sides. Oops, just keep pushing it against the sides. And it will come together. So I've transferred from spoon to hands because we need it to all combine. This reminds me a bit when we made dumplings. It's that kind of consistency, but it'll come out. It starts all crumbly, and the more you work it, the heat in your hands, sticking the dough, starting to come together. So once this is done, we have to get ourselves a couple of baking sheets, line them with some parchment paper, baking paper. We prefer parchment paper, it's the best you can get. And then we're going to preheat the oven. And we'll roll these in our hands into about walnut sized balls. Okay, so there we go. Use my hands, and now we've got a little bit slightly fragile, very short lump of dough. Remember, this is literally a shortbread with lots of spices in it. So we're not going to be rolling this out flat, okay? You can try, and if you wish you can cut them out into size, but the best way to do this is to break this up into about walnut sized pieces, flour your hands, roll them into balls, okay? We're going to put them onto some baking trays. Make sure you give them a bit of space because they're going to spread, and then we'll come back and preheat the oven. Do you really need me to break a piece of this off and show you how to roll it into a ball? Do you? Okay, I'll show you. Right, so flour your hands, take a piece of your dough, about a walnut sized piece, not particularly big. Fairings aren't massive, but these will spread anyway, so they'll become quite cookies. There you go. Put them on your trays. Do as many as you've got, okay? Be back in a while. Okay, I'm just enjoying a well-earned cup of tea. Boss man. Yeah, when no one else is around. Here are all our biscuits, all nicely rolled. I made 8 18 in the end. Quick count then. 8 and 10, 18. And we're going to pop them in the oven. Now, set your oven to 180 degrees fan, 200 degrees normal, gas mark 6. Going to put them in for about 10 to 12 minutes. Not very long, these are biscuits. Now, there is a little trick with fairings, that fairings should be a little bit cracked. It's a Mary Berry thing I actually found the other day as well. We'll mix this together. So about halfway through, take them out and just give them a little tap, okay? But be careful because obviously your tray's going to be hot. If you've got your kids to help you do this bit, you do that bit with oven gloves, okay? So we're going to pop these in the oven. The other way to do it is obviously take them out and reverse them so the top is in the bottom and the bottom is in the top halfway around. And keep an eye on them, okay? When they're lightly golden brown, we're done. So I'll show you some pictures at the end. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Please subscribe, please tell your friends, please come and join the community that is Big Oggie World for food and a little bit of travel. And Big Oggie Golf, where you'll see me hitting a golf ball very badly on the other channel. Have a good day, everybody. Enjoy these. And like I said, if you want to make these with the kids, they're brilliant. Great idea. Great for half terms and school holidays, yeah? Speak soon. Bye.